I just think he loves it. He loves it when people talk about him, and then he'll be back. He'll be here this year. He's not retiring. He'll be here.
You want to know the thing I hate the most about Brett Favre, and then we can get back on topic, but anytime, I mean, it's been his entire career, too. Anytime he's down on the scoreboard, he gets a sack or something like that, he'll get up and he'll grab his thumb and start walking off the field. You know, he's always like a big cry-ass baby.
And then everybody says, oh, is Brett injured? Is Brett injured, right? And then he lets it go for like a week or two where everybody's speculating, oh my God, he's an attention, he starves for attention.
Oh, yeah.
And this is how, God, I fucking hate him. God,
I can't stand him either. Stay retired, Brett.
Just don't go away. Just go away, man. Go the fuck away. You know,
go to your farm and go fishing and all that shit.
Go ride your tractor, whatever he does. Where it's the same thing every year, and the media just, dude. He's a great player. He's a great player. He's just an attention whore. He's a freaking attention whore. Brett Favre for Raw general manager, right?
I'm digging it the most.
Somebody in the chat room says that. The Pecco in the chat room.
That's funny.
Fuck that, man. Fuck.
As long as, I don't care if he could be the GM as long as he's not on the football field.
As long as no GM. Get him off my TV. Get him off my. No Brett Favre. No Brett Favre. Anyways, back to Monday Night Raw. I don't know how we got sidetracked on that, dude. But whatever. So
Chris Jericho, right? We talked about Sheamus beating Goldust, and and then Sheamus got on the mic after the match and says that he beat Goldust last year in ECW, and he doesn't need the fans. He has what he needs, and that's the WWE Championship.
All right, and then that led us to we had the match for SummerSlam, right?
The loser quits the team match.
Loser quits the team. We had this was interesting where Cena went for the STF, right?
Yeah, and Y2J tapped immediately.
Basically, I mean, he didn't even have it locked in. Tapped out immediately. And after the match, Cena told Jericho that basically he doesn't want him off Team Cena or Team WWE at SummerSlam.
Called him the best in the world.
Best in the world at what he does, which is, God, that's so true. God,
I agree.
I mean, Jericho on the mic, in the ring. I mean, Jericho is your definition of a true. He's got it all, man. He's got. I was talking to my buddy at the party, at my niece's party on Saturday, and we got talking about Jericho. He's an old, long time, doesn't watch it anymore, but he was asking about Jericho, and he said that he had seen Jericho, and he had the short hair, and he's like, dude, he's got to go back to the long hair, and I said, man,
I wish.
I agree with him. You know what I mean? God, he's got to go back to the long hair.
Remember when he first came back, in 2000?
When he interrupted The Rock, right? The Rock was out there, and the countdown clock came up, and he came out, and The Rock was like, who in the blue hell are you? And he's like, I'm fucking Jericho, bitch. Yeah, that was awesome.
You want to know the great thing about Jericho to me? The great thing about him is he's not afraid to do a job. You know, there's so many prima donnas that don't want to do a job, and Jericho gets it, though. You know, he knows that it doesn't matter if he does a job in the ring because he's still going to be over.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't matter.
He's got it, man. Jericho, I mean, he's your definition of a true pro wrestler. You know, Jared Cash in the chat room just said that. Just a true pro wrestler. He's got the mic skills. He's got the ring skills. I mean, we talk about it all the time. You could put him in there with a Big Show, and they could have a match of the year.
5-star. Yeah, exactly.
You know, obviously that's a little bit far-fetched, but the point I'm trying to make is the guy could get in there with one of the worst wrestlers in the business. He could get in there with me, who's never wrestled in my life, and could probably carry me to a pretty good match, you know?
A couple people in the chat room could probably beat Jericho, they think.
Yeah, you know, those the same motherfuckers that could book TNA and WWE.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
But the same people that hate Vince Russo, you've never met the guy in your life, or the same people that could book TV on a weekly basis. Get the fuck out of here, you tools.
Exactly. I'm not gonna lie. And I've said this in the past. I'm not the biggest advocate for Vince Russo in the world, but I'm gonna say that I couldn't. Nobody I know couldn't, and nobody, most people couldn't do this man's job. 90% of the people could not do that man's job.
Oh, yeah. Well, 99.9% of the people couldn't do that man's job. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, so we had back to Monday Night Raw. After the match, basically, Cena says, best in the world, and Jericho gets out of the ring, heads back up the ramp, and basically took off.
Yeah, Cena just says that Jericho's letting everybody down, including himself.
Right. And then we went backstage, right? Chris Jericho entered, and he was in Edge's locker room. And basically, they hug it out, man. They said
they work it out, baby.
Right, let's let bygones be bygones, and we get a big old hug. And then we've got the general manager, who ring-a-ding-ding-ding. We have Edge and Chris Jericho against. They're going to team up next week to face the team of John Cena and Bret Hart, which is basically your Raw team is in absolute shambles right now. They're all fighting each other. We've got a tag team match. Da-da-da-da-da.
No, that GM, though, man, his emails, they work faster than nitroglycerin, bro.
You know what I mean?
That shit is so quick.
I mean, it is quick, bro. I mean, he must be fucking watching, right? He must be watching Monday Night Raw and must have
hands on the keyboard.
Cell phone or, hands on the keyboard, already typing the EV. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Give it a break, obviously. Whatever. Stupid. That's just us being stupid. You know?
No, exactly.
All right, we had Randy Orton backstage. He invited Sheamus to ringside to watch this match against The Miz later tonight.
Yep. And then we get the Great Khali and Ted DiBiase, who comes down to the ring with Maurice. And during the match, Wade Barrett and Skip Sheffield come out. They grab the $1 million belt, which distracts DiBiase. And then we got Khali, who applies the vice grip to win the match. Barrett then he hands the belt over to Maurice, gets in the ring, and they pretty much just have a stare down with Khali, who leaves the ring.
Yeah, go ahead. I didn't see the final match or this, man, so I'm going to let you take this, and I am going to we're going to run down UFC, right? Once we get through the main event here, we're going to run down UFC before we go to the break, and then we're coming back, and in hour number 2, we're talking about Samoa Joe's suspension from TNA, all the big news from this past week. We're taking live phone calls, we're doing chat shout-outs, lots of stuff planned for hour number 2, so make sure you come back after the break for that. Let's finish up Monday Night Raw real quick, brother.
All right, really fast. Pretty much The Miz comes out. He cuts a quick promo and tells Randy Orton that his moment is after the match at SummerSlam. Orton then comes out, and we get The Miz against Orton. Pretty much during this match, The Miz hit a lot of offense on Orton, but the match ends up with Miz getting hit with the RKO, allowing Orton to get the win.
And that was Monday Night Raw from last night. So top to bottom, man, I mean, basically, like we said before we ran it down, it's just basically Raw crew's in shambles. Nexus crew is on the high road right now, and we're promoting the pay-per-view. We're in full force promoting this upcoming pay-per-view. We've got back-to-back pay-per-views coming up, man. We got TNA this weekend, WWE. I think we've got UFC's this week. UFC 117 is this weekend as well, man. So
yes, sir.
Gonna get busy, my man. Had a couple off weeks, man, but it's gonna get fucking buck wild. Buck wild, baby dolls.
So make sure you come back.
Yeah, no doubt. Every Tuesday night, guys, we're here. If you like what you hear tonight, if you're new to the show, come back every Tuesday night, 8 to 10 Eastern Time. The official home of WZR Radio is WZROnline.com. WZROnline.com. Really, really fast-loading site. Not a lot of ads, barely any ads at all. And just go check it out. It's really interactive, too. You know what I mean? Shout box, and you can comment on posts. And
just come to the site.
Just go to the site, bitches.
Just do it.
Do it, bitches. WZROnline.com right now. Actually, after we go off the air. So
you're gonna have to carry us through UFC, man, because I did not get to see it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna run down the top matches here. We had in the main event, man, we had John Jones against Vladimir Matyashenko. Matyashenko coming over from Pride. What's that?
You said that was pretty bad, right?
Pretty badass, man.
Badass. Oh, nice.
Yeah, badass. John Jones took him to the ground and basically murdered him with elbows, and referee Herb Dean jumped in and stopped the fight. They actually it was 8 o'clock in the morning, and I woke up and they had John Jones on SportsCenter, and I was half asleep, and but I know that they highlighted this fight on SportsCenter the following day on Monday morning, but it was 8 o'clock and I was just in bed still. So John Jones, man, looked like a beast in that fight. They're saying that this guy's the next big thing, man, and you know, I mean,
looking that way.
It won't look that way on on Sunday night, man. Then we had another great fight, the main event and the co-main event, man. We had Mark Munoz, or no, I'm butchering that. Mark Munoz. Help me out. Mark Munoz.
I don't even know, but I can't even say the name.
This is where I need Boone. This is where I need Boone here, man, with the UFC. By the way, I wonder how my boy Boone is.
Hey, somebody just wrote it down in the chat. Like, that does not help us.
Right?
That does not pronounce it.
My boy Boone, man. My boy Boone. I hope he's all right.
Yeah, you haven't talked to him?
Boone, I hope you're all right, buddy. I hope you're all right. No, I think he's going through, he's got some personal stuff, which is why he took off, so. But hopefully Matt Boone is doing good, so. Hopefully you're getting well. Hopefully you're getting well, buddy.
Definitely.
So Yushin Okami, was in the co-main event. What a fucking fight here, man. The scores at the end, it was 29-28 for Okami, 29-28 for Munoz, and 29-28 for Okami. So Okami won that fight, man. But I mean, it was just great fight. He came over, Yushin Okami, man, came over from Pride. There was another guy, Matt Yusenko came over from Pride as well, so. And then that was about it, man. I mean, those were the two. They had Jake Ellenberger, who, nasty TKO over, God, who was he fighting? John Howard was his name, and God, Howard's eye in that fight. I mean, I've never seen, we're talking like a fucking baseball lump on his eye. I mean, that was just brutal, man. I mean, overall, UFC versus 2, yeah, man. It drew, I think it drew a .9 in ratings, which is pretty decent, man.
Yeah.
They've got a contract with, UFC has a contract with Versus for, I think, 2 more fights. 2 more live specials that they're gonna do. So.
Man, I really wish I would have got to watch it. Like I said, I totally forgot all about it.
Yeah, and I meant to put something up on the websites about that, but I was just so swamped with work. We've got Cale Sonnen versus Anderson Silva coming up at UFC 117 this Saturday night. They had Cale on the UFC on Versus show, man, and God, any of you guys that watched that interview, you talk about a cocky prick. That guy. And Anderson Silva, Anderson Silva's last fight was, I believe, wasn't his last, somebody in the chat room, who was his last fight where he kept he would put him on the ground, and then he'd let him up, and then he'd put him on the ground, and he'd put him on the ground. Damian Maia. That's it, guys, in the chat room. I mean, and I believe that's the last time we've seen Silva, so hopefully Cale goes out there. And Anderson Silva is a badass fighter, and we all know that. It was just, that last fight just leaves a bad taste in your mouth, you know what I mean?
Yeah, damn.
So UFC 117 coming up this Saturday night on...
Can't wait for that one.
I tell you what, man, we got through Monday Night Raw. You know what I'm going to do?
What's that?
We got a couple calls right now, right? I'm going to open up the phone lines just real quick, man. We're going to kill 5 minutes here, and then we're going to go to the hourly